it's done. Like all that work, all that everything that went into getting us there. Like they finally got over the hump. For me, and obviously, I was excited, really, really proud of the moment, but it was like for them.
What's up, guys? Benyam Kirana here for NBA Australia's Courtside Huddle, and today we're joined by a very special guest, NBA All-Defensive Second Team bronze medal winner, YouTube producer extraordinaire, Sydney's own Matisse Thybulle. How you doing, man? Thanks for joining us.
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here.
It's been a bit of a whirlwind summer for you, man. Coming off the NBA season, the Olympics, and a lot of activity for you. Filming a movie in the off season. How's everything going for you this summer?
I mean, I'm just trying to keep up. Life is moving at a breakneck pace right now, and I'm just hanging on for dear life. But it's been amazing. It's been nothing but great experiences so far.
And you mentioned you're out in California, getting some work in with your Sixers teammates. How's that been going?
Really good. I mean, it's always nice to get a little bit of a change location, enjoy some sun, some time at the beach, and yeah, just hone my craft with the guys who we're gonna go try and win a championship with.
And I wanted to start with you, obviously with the Olympic experience. You kind of became a bit of a cult figure out here in Australia during the games. Were you cognizant of that when you were in Tokyo? Because the timeline was nonstop Matisse out here during the games.
Not really. I mean, people would tell me, some of the coaches or some of the guys would be like, my cousin or my nephew or my sister or my friend loves you. They think you're so cool. And I'm like, oh, that's great. Like, so wholesome, like the family. But so to answer your question, I don't think I knew then, and I really don't think I know now, like the extent of it. And I think I want to keep it that way, just for my own sanity. But from what I've heard, it's all been very positive. And I mean, I honestly could not be more grateful just to have the support and be supported by such an amazing team, organization, and more importantly, country.
The Olympic Games for the Australian Boomers, this bronze medal has been something that's been a long time coming. A lot of fourth place finishes to finally, get that gold medal was such a big deal for Australian basketball. What did it mean to you to be a part of something so historic, and how was that Olympic experience for you?
A lot of my motivation comes from wanting to do something for like the greater good, if that makes any sense. So for me, like being able to be a part of this team and have guys like Patty, Joe, Banksy, Deli, like Chris, I could name the whole team, but these guys who have shown up year in, year out, from Olympics to World Cups to Commonwealth Games, trying to get this team to a place where we could finally medal, and to have like seen the body of work that they put together, and then finally meet these guys and be on the court with them and feel the passion and like the hunger that they played with. There was nothing I wanted more than to bring everything I could to the table to help this come true for them. And that fire that like burned within all of us was like palpable on the court. And it was just such an amazing experience for me as a player, just to have that much emotion behind like just being out there on the court and wanting to accomplish something that bad.
Representing Australia, is that something you always wanted to do? And what was that moment like when you first pulled on the green and gold jersey in Vegas?
Representing Australia is something I've always been proud of. Just being able to tell people I'm an Australian citizen, and my dad, my family, we've always been very, very, very proud of that aspect of ourselves. But to say that I always wanted to represent them in the Olympics, I never thought I was going to be good enough to have the opportunity. So it wasn't like I really thought about it, because I didn't want to like dwell on this dream that was never going to, I couldn't even dream about it because I didn't think it was possible. Over the course of time, as I happened to get a little bit better and timing, the stars aligned and the opportunity opened up. I couldn't have asked for it to play out any better. And I honestly couldn't have been more proud to be a part of it.
What was it like getting to know these guys? I mean, you obviously have some relationships and guys that playing against them in the NBA, but what was it like being able to spend an extended period of time with them, sort of going back to camp and then through to Tokyo?
Yeah, I mean, I think I mentioned it in the vlogs at the beginning, but it was initially very nerve-wracking. I'm like the new kid on the block, and these guys are like very serious in their approach to this, and it's like they've been working so hard for this, and like here I come just like prancing onto the scene like, hey guys, like let's play basketball. And so initially I was very nervous that it would be hard to integrate with them and get them like to win them over. But I mean, I think it just is, they put off like a tough exterior, all these guys, but deep down they're all just a bunch of softies. And it was like once I got to get on the court with them and sit down and eat some meals with them, it was like, this is the nicest group, like the greatest group of just human beings I've been around in a really long time. And I've said it a bunch before, but I truly believe it. And it's, if you don't fit in with them and their team and their group, it says more about you than it does about them.
The Team USA game looked really good for the Boomers in the first half, and then obviously they did what they did, and then again the Slovenia game. But I want to start with the USA game. I mean, that was a real roller coaster, that semifinal.
Those are the hardest games because when you're playing against a juggernaut like Team USA, they're never out of the game. So we got, what was it, maybe like a 15, 16 point lead, and we're scared for our lives. Like, it's such a crazy concept. It's such a hard way to play and perform out there because you know you're doing what you can and you're playing well, but the whole time in the back of your mind it's like, don't let them get an inch. And we let them get a centimeter, and they took it and just like blew the lead wide open. And those games are the best because they're so fun, so intense, but they're obviously the hardest ones to ultimately pull out in the long run.
For you guys to then bounce back, after that disappointment, only a couple of days later, you don't really get much time in between games to then come up against Slovenia and win that bronze medal game. I have to start with Patty Mills. What were you thinking being on the court and watching him do what he did in that bronze medal game?
It felt like it was unfair. I felt like we were cheating because we had Patty Mills. Like, it felt like I don't know if you've ever played 2K with like your little brother or something, and when he's not looking, you turn the game sliders all the way up, and all of a sudden, like, now you don't miss. That's what it felt like. And just being out there watching and being a part of it, I would feel, there's moments where I literally felt bad. I was like, this is the most insane, most amazing performance I've ever seen from a basketball player, let alone like NBA FIBA game. Like, it was incredible.
Speaking of not missing, what was going on with you in the FIBA 3-point line? You were looking like Steph Curry for a little bit out there.
It's all confidence. The game is like 80% up here. And I just happened to be with a group of guys who made me feel welcome and confident, really believed in me, coaching staff included. And I think that really just translated into what you saw on the court.
Speaking of the coaching staff, what was it like working with Brian Gorge? And he's obviously a legend out here in Australia. He's been coaching at an elite level since I was a little kid. Like, he's been around for forever. What was it like working with him?
It was a cool experience. He's a unique coach in how, like, I've never played for a coach quite like him, but his feel for players and personalities is one of the best that I think I've ever been a part of, because he was able to read the emotion, his emotional intelligence of where we were all at.
The culture's there. It's ingrained. They know the intensity in which you need to practice. There's a great camaraderie amongst the main group that the young guys can just feed off of. And I think the other aspect of this for me and the coaching staff is clarity, to keep it, we've got a short window here, so system we got to work on every day, offense and defense, and it's got to be clear and it's got to be simplistic.
It really spoke a lot to just see how well, I mean, one of the biggest things other teams would say after games is they just play so well. They play so well together and they play so hard. And it's like, how do you get a group of guys that don't play together all over the world to come in and perform like that? It just speaks volumes to how great he is as a coach.
The fact that there was so many fourth place finishes, and then to finally get over the hump, it was kind of like a big exhale for the basketball community. Winning the first ever men's medal and for it to be at an Olympic Games was crazy. And for you, what was that moment like? When the final buzzer went and you knew that medal was coming, and then obviously standing on the podium with the bronze medal.
And for me, it was like, looking to the guys that we were talking about earlier, the Patty, Joe, Deli, Chris, like looking to these guys, like it's done. Like all that work, all that, everything that went into getting us there, like they finally got over the hump. For me, and obviously I was excited, really, really proud of the moment, but it was like for them. I felt like a lot of that was for them, and being able to enjoy it with them was what really made it special.
You guys were one of the last sort of teams of athletes in the village with the basketball on the final day. And we got a little window into the celebrations at the village. Can you walk us through that? How much fun were you guys having after the win?
Yeah, I mean, the coolest thing for me was like the arena that we played at was an hour away from the village, and we don't move very quickly after games. And we had the whole ceremony, everything. So it took us maybe like 2 or 3 hours to get home once the game was over, or get back to the village. We get back to the village and everyone who's still there is standing outside, like already like prepared, waiting for us, cheering us on as we walk up. We're blasting music, like we get ourselves all together and we walk in, everyone's high-fiving us, cheering. That was by far the coolest part of all of it. And then what you saw basically just continued for like 48 hours straight.
So you basically got a little parade once you got back to the village.
Yeah,
it works.
Little mini parade. It was nice.
Tokyo in the books. Paris 2024. Will we see Matisse Thybulle playing for the Boomers? Is that the plan?
Absolutely, without a doubt.
I want to switch a little bit over to the Sixers. You're obviously in the off season now, working out with your teammates. How's, I guess, the preparation after the disappointment of the playoffs last season? How's the preparation been for you guys in the summer this go around?
Yeah, I mean, the NBA is an interesting thing because normally you don't see your teammates until the season starts. So for me and Tobias to be out here working out right now, preparing before training camp, it's kind of like, we know where we let ourselves down as a team, but then we also know where we let the team down as individuals. And this offseason, I think it's been huge for guys to kind of tighten some things up and grow in areas where we might have needed them more or could use them more, and like myself included. So just being able to put together a little bit, it's been a weird off season, a shorter one than normal, but to put together a little bit of like a body of work to hopefully bring in like a refined version of yourself into this season will be big for all of us.
And for you personally, coming off an all defensive second team selection last season, I mean, what's the next goal for you for next season, and in terms of your role on the team, and then also individually?
There've never really been goals. Like all second team, all defense was never really a goal of mine. Like a lot of those are externally put there for you to achieve. For me, like the only thing you control is progress. Like the only thing I can guarantee of myself is I'm going to grow and get better. And anything other than that is a failure. Aside from that, if I'm continuing to grow and get better and ultimately allow me to be a better teammate, more of a force on the court, that's really all I'm looking for.
And have you been in contact with your fellow Aussie teammate Ben Simmons at all during the off season?
No, like I said, we don't see each other. So it's like Ben, I'm in San Diego, Ben lives in LA in the off season, but like with the exception for Tobias, he's one of, if we weren't filming a movie this off season, I wouldn't have seen anybody.
Well, that was going to be my next point. Talk to us about this movie you're in with Adam Sandler, Tobias, Seth Curry, Tyrese Maxey. What's that been like, the new movie Hustle?
It's very different from the vlogs, actually. The production value of these things is literally off the charts. It's been fun. It's nerve-wracking. It's like you'd think that because I run and gun with this little camera that I'd be comfortable. I'm actually very uncomfortable in front of the camera. And it makes it even worse when there's 50 people surrounding you and 3 cameras the size of small cars facing you, and you have to like now try and pretend to be yourself. It's been a huge learning experience. It's been really exciting just because like my brain loves all the camera tech, like all that kind of stuff. And being able to have the opportunity to meet and work with Adam Sandler, who's a basketball junkie and just ultimately a really, really nice person. Has been a really fun experience.
Who's the best actor out of the 76ers guys? You got a whole bunch of the guys on the movie.
And it's easily Tobias. I mean, if you even go back to the vlogs I made in the bubble, my man thrives in front of the camera. He knows how to put on a show, and like watching him do his thing has been really fun. And he's gonna have a really cool part in this movie. And the way it's captured it's gonna be awesome. I'm excited for it.
We also love it when you're behind the camera and in front of the camera with the vlog series. I wanted to have a bit of a chat to you about that, because the content you were pushing out in Tokyo was awesome. You could see the reception from that. People were hanging on for every episode. What was it like documenting that experience through the vlog series?
I mean, it was similar to my experience just in general. I mean, it very much is a reflection of what it was, but like initially it was very uncomfortable, very awkward. I'm the new guy. I don't know any of these guys who already know each other, and I have a camera. Like, it literally couldn't be any worse.
Kind of nervous about making videos out here. Like last time I made videos, it was cool because I knew everyone. I know about 3 people on this team.
Once I got through the discomfort of getting to know everyone and like, hey, I'm Matisse, I vlog occasionally. It got pretty fun, and guys started to get more comfortable, and I think it showed in just how I was able to start putting more of the guys in my videos. But no, I love that kind of stuff, and it's like a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but it's really fun and rewarding, and it's a cool way to get people to feel like they're like really a part of it, because you get to see a little bit behind the curtain as to what we're really like, and like what a day or like what kind of stuff we get up to.
No, for sure, man. And have we got one more episode coming from Tokyo?
This way, I get messages every day. I don't know. I was talking to Dua Reith. Literally, was it yesterday, 2 days ago, about this? Everything else is easy because it's just lighthearted fun. It's day-to-day stuff. But this was like, for me, one of my like most valuable memories, one of the greatest basketball experiences I've ever had. And if I can't do it justice, I don't think I will. So I don't know where I stand yet.
you got to give the people what they want. I've seen a lot of people on the timeline begging for that next episode.
Literally every day, I see it all, and it is so upsetting because I'm like, I feel like I'm letting the whole world down. But like I said, if I can't do it justice, I won't do it. So we'll see.
We'll be eagerly awaiting the refresh on the YouTube page to see if something comes. But it's been awesome chatting with you, Matisse. Congratulations again on the bronze medal, and we look forward to seeing you doing your thing out there for the 76ers this season.
Thank you. It means so much. It was really fun getting a chance to chat with you.
Likewise, my man. Likewise. It's been awesome.